Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Very thankful that you're here. You've made it to Friday. Have a big announcement to make. We made some money. We raised some money for the American Red Cross last night with the Captain Accurate Premium Group. If you haven't heard, there's a big movie. It's kind of a big deal. We haven't had one like this probably since 1996 when the first one came out. But I'm talking about the movie Twister, has now a sequel called Twisters. We've added an S to it, I guess. And that adds some extra drama. This movie does come out today, but my premium members got to see it early. They got to see it yesterday on the 18th. Isn't that cool? And yes, we got some donated pizzas from our friends at Marco's. So we had a great time, a fantastic time. We offered free tickets to those. We wanted everybody in our group to go. If they wanted to go, we expressed that and we made that very well known. And we had a private watch party at Regal Cinema there in Turkey Creek. So we had a great time. I want to say thanks to everybody that attended. If you were there, thank you for bringing your spouse, your kids. We had such a great time. I had a 12-year-old who had seen Twister, the original. Now think of 12-year-olds. He'd seen the movie from 1996 like 100 times. And I'm thinking, I did that like with Star Wars, but maybe as a kid, but not Twister, because it wasn't around when I was a kid. But anyway, this one I think is probably equal, if not better. Better than the first. That's the review that I got. We had a great time. I want to thank everybody who was there. We met out at Founders Park early because no outside food or drink allowed in the theater, so we just had a gathering. It was like a short picnic before we moved over toward Turkey Creek last night. And of course, if you are concerned about tornadoes, you have good reason to. We have them in East Tennessee from time to time. There is a reason why we actually have concern. We had one this year in Morgan County. We had an EF1 that was 105 miles an hour. People say, I don't remember that. Maybe because you don't live there, but I'm sure those that live in Sunbright, they remember that one from April 2nd of this year. So tornadoes do cause damage. It's not just cinematic Hollywood, bells and whistles. It is a great movie. I gotta say, it's a great blend of romance and destruction, right? You get romance and destruction. That's why we go to the movies, I guess. But it is a great movie. It makes me remind me of all the cool things that we loved about weather when you study it, and if you're just an aficionado or a weather enthusiast. But we got to see it with all of our weather nerds, friends, geeks, and enthusiasts last night. And then, of course, we had a tornado that was closer to home. We had one in West Knox County. Some folks will forget that this had winds of 130. This was stronger. This was an EF2. So we do get tornadoes. We do have damage. This is level crossing. This was last August. This was a little less than a year ago. And yes, people get displaced, and it does require some money to be raised. So I point this out. That's what we did. Like when we said with the rain, every drop helps. Well, every little drop of money helps when people lose their place to live. And these types of situations are not unique to Oklahoma, which is really what the movie focuses on. But I want to at least remind you that we do have that, and we're going to be sharing this money. We'll be donating this money on Monday. I'll make a presentation to the local American Red Cross. But this is what it looked like last year, and some folks say, yeah, I know where that is. I know where Level Road is. Not far from Nick and Jay's. By the way, tornadoes do form. The wind setup looks like this. You'll get all the details in the movie. I'm not going to ruin any of the movie. There are twisters in it. I did get a big response from my audience, because as soon as the lights got dark, and of course you could hear the rumbles in the surround sound of like storm coming, I jumped up and I said, hey, my Captain Accurate weather alert just went off, and everybody started laughing. They thought it was funny, because it's true. It is a great app. You want to make sure that you have multiple sources of information when severe weather strikes. By the way, rotation typically changes the wind direction and the horizontal rotation. This is what it looks like. You get a change in both wind direction and height. And when you start to see that rotation occur, of course, that's when the time to get into your safe space. Strong lift in the thunderstorm causes the tornado to form. It rotates vertically, and so it goes, and destruction can occur. But of course, some of the Hollywood aspect of it we'll leave to those who want to study it and also understand there's a little bit of drama to sell some movie tickets. But I gotta tell you, if you're a weather fan, you gotta really check it out. Have multiple sources. Grab a NOAA weather radio. It always helps when cell phone towers are compromised. Always good to get the weather information. If you're on the call, want to say good morning to you. I've got a lot of information to unpack, but I will be finishing up at the top of the hour. If you've got a comment, as we look at the visibility, we're down to 0 in Middlesboro. Bell County, I would even say Claiborne County, has poor visibility this morning due to the dense fog we have there. I got a note from Fred. He says good morning. Fred says good morning. He's got 66 degrees in Maryville. Thank you, Fred, for being here. Kay Human says good morning. She's on here. And I got a note from Wanda Poe, who happens to be on YouTube. So we're on Facebook and YouTube. She says good morning. She says she likes the rain. She is still in the process of moving. So prayers to you and keep that move safe. Again, we've got more rain in the forecast and a little bit of fog to greet you first thing this morning. Let's talk about temperature. It is cooler and, dare I say, less humid. Look at Oneida. Isn't Oneida a great way to represent 57 degrees? Is it 10 degrees cooler in Oneida compared to McGee-Tyson? Apparently it is. Apparently it is. 10 degrees cooler in Scott County, 60 in Wartburg right now. Nice and comfortable. 61 in Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County, while it's 66 in Athens, 66 Morristown, as well as Talbot. And say Jefferson City, Newport coming in at 66. Dew points have dropped too. They're not in the 70s. They're not even in the upper 60s. The dew points have dropped into the mid to upper 50s for many areas in the plateau this morning. So savor it. It doesn't happen all the time in summer. It may be a rarity, but when it is nice and comfortable, I hope you'll take advantage of it, especially this morning. Now, I have left a 30% chance of rain today. Much of that will try to come up from the south, mainly south of Interstate 40. But anyone's fair game for a rain shower storm, I think, especially tonight. Later tonight, this will be filling back in. Here's the big picture. You can see where the clouds are. In fact, you can even see where the rain is around Tupelo, Mississippi. That's coming up toward the Huntsville area. But we have maybe a little bit of hazy sun to greet you first thing this morning. A good blend of the two. High temperatures today around 86. 85 in Oak Ridge, 85 in Morristown, my expectations, with a 30% chance of rain. I want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. I have some notes to share. Now, there was some variability yesterday, and I want to point that out because I think it could occur today. Yesterday, Knoxville hit 84. Oak Ridge hit 88. Oh, come on, 4 degrees? Do you know how close Oak Ridge is from Knoxville? Was it really worth 4 degrees? It can if you have these clouds coming up. I have us at 86 today, and Oak Ridge 85. It could easily be an 87 or 88 degree day. So there will be some flexibility, variability. So keep that in mind. Normal high, 89. Normal low, 69. We picked up 1/100th of an inch. That's not much at all. We're still in a drought situation, which I'm going to get to too here in a moment. Let me show you what we're looking at in terms of the drought situation. But first, let's take a look at the current radar because I want to see, do we have any showers to worry about this morning? Right now, it seems like the answer is no. Maybe a little ground clutter, maybe some noise showing up around Maryville, but I don't think we have much to deal with, at least to start. By the way, Marco's Pizza are very thankful for them as they provided us with 10 large pizzas, donated that last evening. Hardin Valley Farragut, we got our pizzas from Farragut. Special thanks to Stephanie and Mandy and Jacob for helping me out, loading up my vehicle with the pizzas. Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. They are also corporate sponsors for No Kid Hungry. They do give back quite a bit to the local community. Hardin Valley and Farragut, if you want to pick up a large Magnifico pepperoni pizza for less than $10, you could do so. And if you want a lunch item, I could recommend the pepperoni and sausage Pozzoli. Love it. It's less than $6 for a limited time. As we look at the bigger picture, the rain you see down in Oklahoma, think of that, the movie, sorry, rain down in, say, Mississippi and Alabama is drifting in this direction. We have a front that crossed yesterday. It's going to try and meander back here over the weekend, so it will stay unsettled. Not a whole lot of activity this morning in the Great Lakes, and there's not a lot of activity in New England. We have a couple more showers and storms there in Louisiana and parts of southeast Texas. I want to say good morning to you. I got a note from Danny. Danny's on here. He's got a comment. Says, good morning, David. Sure hope you have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Thank you, Danny, for being here. Lana Johnson also commenting. She's got a note here. She says, good morning from Kodak. She's got very thick fog. Thank you for that update. As the rain, where we've had it, has now condensed in some cases, so we've got some issues, no doubt. I want to make sure everybody stays, in fact, aware that that is a possibility. Also want to note, I got a note from Darcy. Darcy was at the movie theater with me and her family last night. Glad to have Darcy here. I think she gave it a thumbs up. She liked it. I think she said she liked it better than the original. A lot of folks would love the Bill Paxton connection. There is one. Wasn't what I initially thought, but there is a connection with Bill Paxton. I believe his son makes a cameo in this movie, so you want to check it out. But no spoiler alerts here. We'll keep it. Just know that this movie does open nationwide today. By the way, you can see a big picture. More thunderstorms along perhaps parts of the East Coast. So with the drought that came out yesterday, the drought monitor from NOAA expanded the orange areas. What is that? That's the severe drought. So if you're in Crossville, you're still under a severe drought. It's kind of now moving into parts of western Loudoun County. It's moving into Monroe County. So it is expanding. Knoxville's light brown. That means we're under a moderate drought. But I think this will become, well, maybe a moot point as we move into the next 7 days. Because this was the report as of Tuesday, a couple of days ago, right? They take the data right through 8:30 Tuesday morning. Takes a couple of days to process through the supercomputers, and then they put out their report on Thursday morning. So that was yesterday morning. You can see Sharps Chapel, Tazewell under a moderate drought, abnormally dry for Oneida and Clarefield. But when you get to Fairfield Glade, you get to Crab Orchard, you're under a severe drought in Orange, Harriman as well, Sweetwater, Nyota, Athens, and so it goes. And it's even worse in red, just across parts of northern Alabama and maybe central sections, or middle Tennessee, south middle Tennessee there as well. The red areas are obviously a lot worse. They're into the extreme drought, and we have patches of that going back to the Carolinas, now into the Virginias as well, West Virginia, Virginia, and into New Mexico, Texas. So there's the drought monitor. The reason we're so dry is we've only picked up 0.56 officially in July. This is typically the soggiest month, and now that we're going to turn the tide, literally and figuratively, we're going to pick up a lot of rain, I think, over the next couple of days. May was the fourth soggiest with 8.5 inches. That's why I put the surprise emoji there. May 2024, the fourth wettest May on record with 8.5 inches. So it does go back and forth, much like the pendulum, the weather pendulum swings. Take a look at where we're going to be today and into tomorrow morning, because I mentioned showers might be fewer today, but once we get to tonight, it will come back. This shows what represents the models through 7 a.m. tomorrow. So by 7 a.m. tomorrow, Knoxville could have picked up another third of an inch. That's a healthy amount given what we've had thus far in the first 18 days. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, it continues to fill in, and then so it goes. You'll notice the green areas continue to filter in. The amounts of rain start to climb in excess of an inch, inch and a half in some cases. That takes us through Tuesday. This takes us through Wednesday, and this takes us through Thursday. So you're talking about 1-2 inches of rain, maybe 3 locally higher amounts. When it rains, it pours, and the humidity will in fact be coming back, so be prepared for that. Just want to get back on track here at 6:52. My goal is to be done here in 8 minutes. We did get a below average day. Isn't that something? You know, isn't that how weather works? You get a full moon, and then you get a new moon, which you can't see. We had a record high, tied it on Independence Day with a 97, and then yesterday it was 84. It was a below average day. So it does go back and forth. And that was a 2-week span, so it doesn't always happen overnight. But the hottest day thus far for this calendar year still is July 14th, when we hit 98 degrees. So if you're keeping score, that's where we stand. 15 days at 90 so far this month. Wind speed's not a factor, but we have some dense fog. Thank you, Lana Johnson, for updating us there. And let me check in with your comments. It's 67 right now in Nashville, and I got a 65 in Johnson City. Wanda Poe's on here. She says, good morning. I am on Team Fall. Team Fall, winter, and summer. It's too hot this year. She is not a fan. And with all this rain, temperatures are going to be more moderate in the 80s, so we're not going to be as blazing hot as it has been so far this calendar month of July. Dew points are dropping. Where you see yellow, it's much more comfortable. So the feels like temperature, even though we have a dew point of 64, our feels like temperature doesn't even apply. So it really doesn't feel much different than the actual temperature at this moment. And again, that's still what we see as far as the feels like. Is really a consumer index product, so to speak. Tracking the humidity tracker shows the humidity does come back. You can see the green ooze through 5 o'clock today. We head into the afternoon and into tonight. It's still humid. And that's why I say any break in the humidity this morning in the plateau should be enjoyed and savored. By midday tomorrow, it's still very humid and stuffy, and this pattern will continue right through the rest of the weekend, because this represents noon on Sunday, when some of you may be getting out of church services. Sunday afternoon still pretty sticky, so don't expect changes there. Let's take a look at the clouds. We have maybe some thin spots. Could be a very beautiful morning unless you're dealing with the fog. That would bring some tears to your eyes. But if you get a couple of showers, you may be at some point, and I anticipate the point will come where someone says, enough is enough with the rain. Because if you got outdoor activities in the summer and you don't want to have rain showers, which seems like each and every day, well, you have to deal with what we get. Sun sets tonight at 8:50. If you're planning to check out the movie Twisters. By the way, Knoxville today, 86. Clouds, hazy sun, showers and storms. That would be a couple of degrees warmer in Knoxville versus compared to yesterday, because we had 84. but our friends in Oak Ridge hit 88, so there can be some variability. If you're out the door, I fully anticipate temperatures in the mid-70s by 10 and should be around 84 by 2 o'clock with a good blend of hazy sun and clouds, highs in generally in the mid-80s, but there could be a few locations that make it to about 87 or 88. Headlines, I'm expecting a few storms today, more storms tonight, and a rainy pattern that continues into the weekend. If you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you. We've seen some notes and comments about the fog from Kodak and areas that might be in East Tennessee affecting you if you're driving this morning. 67 is our current temperature, but it's a more comfortable. I have to say comfortable. When it's the dew point 64, that's a whole lot better when it has been in the low 70s these last couple of weeks, it would seem. Valley Planner takes us to 86, should be right around 81 by lunchtime today. And I did leave a 30% chance for some showers and some storms. I want to say thank you for your time this morning. What else did I want to share with you? Oh, the record high today, 800. The record high today, 100. That's what I meant to say. In the year 1887. And then the record low this morning, 56, 1984. We're nowhere close to 56. But like I said, when you're in the mid-60s, it's probably not a bad situation. It's a lot better than maybe the sticky weather that we've had to deal with what seems like day after day. How about these rain chances? You got woohoo when you're under a drought. This is like an answer to prayer. If you be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you pray for because you might get it in ample supply. And that's what it seems like it's going to be. 80% chance of rain tomorrow, 60% chance on Sunday. By the way, it's 6:56. I'll be done here in 4 minutes or less. You can see the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted one area, particularly in the Midwest, where severe storms, maybe tornadoes, twisters. Boy, that movie gets to you, right? If you're not a fan of tornadoes, it could maybe make you shell shock. But it is a great movie, the way they put it together. There's a lot of drama. You can see there's some possibility of scattered severe storms in Nebraska and in Kansas. The green areas, the dark green, would represent isolated severe storms today in parts of Kansas as well. Here we have general thunderstorms on the menu. That means some of these storms could make it up toward north of I-40, I think especially tonight. But I think it's mainly a south of I-40 event through the course of the morning, early afternoon. We'll keep an eye on that. By the way, Saturday, chance of severe storms, isolated as they may be, would include Charlotte, would include Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach, if you're headed to the beach, Virginia Beach, or the Outer Banks, Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill, the Research Triangle Park, all under the marginal level 1 risk for Saturday. We, too, have the risk for some thunderstorms, but again, nothing reaching severe limits. The expectation is to keep it rather low-key. By the severe risk on Sunday, nobody is under that risk. Everybody in dark, or light green, has the risk for general thunderstorms, and that covers the entire state of Tennessee for Sunday as we continue on into next week. Futurecast, let's pick out your favorite area. We want to show you the macro view so you can see this very stalled boundary. Where you see the red-blue line, that's where this front's just slowly moving. Typically, even though it's stalled, it can still move 5 miles an hour or less. It's just drifting. And if it's drifting in our neck of the woods, that's why the rain's going to come up and travel along that railroad track, so to speak. As it starts to fill in, that's 5 o'clock. And you said we didn't get much rain during the course of daylight hours, but once it gets dark, watch what happens. It starts to roll back in. So that's 11 o'clock tonight, which is why I anticipate a mostly cloudy sky with showers and storms during the course of your evening. Saturday, unsettled. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like lather, rinse, repeat. And then we continue on the wash cycle as we head into Sunday as well, as this low just kind of parks itself here. So short changes in movement and short movement changes, or say directional changes of this front will maybe help us with more timing, but it will be just unsettled going into the next couple of days. And you can see the next front that comes in is well to our west back on Monday. So we're going to stay in this pattern of stickiness into next week. You pick out another town here that you like, pick out your favorite location. Is by midday we should be around 82. Notice that we've got the rain in the Smokies, the foothills, by lunchtime on this particular model or solution. By 2 o'clock, it's primarily around Sevierville, maybe over toward Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, or Seymour, Newport. That's 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then it starts to really fill in by 4 o'clock in the Southern Valley. So places like Chattanooga, Tellico Plains, Nyota, Philadelphia, be on the lookout for showers and storms. The ones in red could be some downpours. That's 5 o'clock for the drive home. A little messy. and it starts to lift northward, so that's why we have an evening with pop-up shower storms that continue in that forecast vein. So for today, it's now 6:59. My goal is to finish here on time. 86, clouds, hazy sun, showers and storms, a 30% chance by day. 60% chance tonight. Winds will be about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Today I'm expecting a high of 84 for Newport, 85 for Kingston, Harriman, Rockwood, and about 85 for Maryville, Alcoa, Seymour, and about 86 for Middlesboro there in Bell County. If you're traveling today, our friends in Music City could hit 88. 86 for Atlanta, 83 for Lexington, Kentucky. We're down to about 68 tonight. It is more humid. Showers and storms, about a 60% chance. Winds are going to be light and variable. There could be some fog again tomorrow. 67 in Newport, 67 in Kingston, your low temperatures tonight, and about 66 in Campbell County there in La Follette. It's now 7 o'clock straight up. Here is your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. 83. I did modify tomorrow by 3 degrees. Again, it's going to be dependent on how quickly the rain showers get in here. As you know, when it rains, it's harder to warm things up, but generally mid-80s again on Sunday, low 80s on Monday. I left a 60% chance of rain on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then another around 80% chance coming in on Wednesday. So I know it's not what you want to see if you've got outdoor plans, but when you have a drought, it could be, might be, with just what the doctor ordered. That's my thought. Anyway, maybe you would agree. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Captain Accurate weather app, I hope you'll do so, because lightning comes in with these storms and you go, I wish I had known. Yeah, if you have an iPad, if you have a smartphone, you could get the Captain Accurate weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic very easily. It's free. You mean it's free? There's no strings attached? No, no strings attached. We want you to be safe. So if you get those twisting storm approaching alerts, which you probably would have had go off if your app was connected to the movie I watched last night, it would have been going off like crazy. But anyway, I digress. You get all the National Weather Service alerts, plus 3 extra alerts from Barron, plus the lightning alerts. It is absolutely free. And if you'd like to join our group, I have so much fondness. We have people who are donating money so that other people could go to this theater to see, maybe didn't have the means to go to buy a ticket, because they were like a little more than $15 each. So to have a ticket to see a movie that hadn't even come out yet, this was a thrill for many of us who were able to enjoy it and watch it. And that's why I say the premium service is more than just posting on Facebook. We are a community that continues to support each other. We focus on weather that goes beyond the next 7 days. Our focus goes usually out to about a month's time. You're the first to see every forecast. You get more Facebook Lives, typically 4 extra Facebook Lives per month on Sundays to help you plan for the week ahead, and you get fewer ads. It's only $4.99 a month. That's a bargain. You get about 15 to 20 posts from yours truly each and every day that's exclusive to the premium members. They see things that maybe you don't see if you're just perusing my Facebook page. But just hit the subscribe button. It works out to about 16 cents a day, $4.99 or 16 cents a day. Very thankful for all of you, the premium members that came last night and their families. We had a great time. My wife, Stephanie, we had a great time. She really loved the movie. And of course, she puts up with weather with me all the time, but she thought this was a great movie. Anyway, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.